What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more electronic and their 1999 album Twisted Tenderness. Thank you again to Chris. And the second to last tune on the album is When She's Gone. So it sounds like, if not a hypothetical, certainly a conditional or a future scenario, and that this she is still present or in whatever situation is being implied, but perhaps someone is making plans for, or at least trying to articulate what may be the case, what might come to pass when she is no longer here, wherever here is, be that in a relationship or in a given situation among people, maybe even literally in a geographical place. And of course, to be gone can mean passed away, not just went somewhere else. So yeah, there's a clear suggestion of the current status, a potential future status, and the passage of time, but the details of that remain extremely ambiguous, so I will try to follow what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is electronic. The track is When She's Gone, and it's the penultimate tune on their 1999 album Twisted Tenderness.
Only when this girl has gone.
What was the line? Like, even when she's gone, even if she won't be alone, something like that. Indeed, the whole track seems to be like the narrator talking to another person and what they can do, what they should do, but then the chorus seems to reference this other she. So I don't know, maybe there's three parties in this story. But yeah, as to the narrator singing to the other person, it's, like, let's go find an address which doesn't receive any post, which I found very amusing. The idea of maybe going to some, way off the beaten path, a place that's away from it all and not in the midst of a big city or even necessarily like a small town, but, really go into somewhere, whether it's an island or something, but just somewhere disconnected from everywhere else. And maybe in that regard, the idea is like when she's gone, even though she's not going to be alone, like we can be free, like we can have our own world, and you don't have to carry that baggage or worry about that connection. And then there was a line or a pair of lines in the latter verse, or maybe like, at least the second verse, which is like talking about, you showed me, what is it, your motor tattoo or something? I don't know exactly what kind of tattoo it was, but okay, that suggests some degree of intimacy, and maybe not everyone else can see it because it's normally under clothing. I suppose that could be figurative, but again, I'm inclined to read it more literally. And then it was like, my name will be on your breast, which, getting a tattoo there, and I'm assuming he's talking about a woman. Sometimes you hear, especially like in an older type of phrasing, a man's pecs referred to as their breast, it struck me through my breast, whatever. But I'm assuming that's about a woman, and thus the idea of getting a tattoo there would again be an indication of a notable level of intimacy, because it's not the kind of place that you would put a tattoo of someone who's just a casual friend or a passing acquaintance. So again, it feels like the narrator and this person being sung to, assuming it's a woman, have a close connection, and maybe again the idea of the title phrase is that like when this person is out of the way and out of your life in a direct, immediate sense, then our world can open up and be something more. But yeah, maybe I'm misreading that, and I did not hear all the lines clearly, so I have no doubt I am missing some aspect of this. But yeah, sonically, again, it's really interesting because, just earlier in this decade, they had a more electronic sound, synth pop, synth dance, and this is very like second half of the 90s alternative rock to me. I mean, there are some elements where, it's still got a full sound, like natural instruments mixed with some electronic or like keyboard sounds, but overall it sounds much more like 90s alternative rock than the stuff they made earlier in the decade. So it is again interesting to hear the sonic evolution and variety in their catalog. Nevertheless, I enjoyed it. There's one more tune on here before the end of the album, and the last track on the record is Flicker, as in a light, or perhaps even better, a candle flame flickering. So we shall see what that's all about next time. Let me know what you think here, and I will see you then. Peace.